pedal order versus pedal placement. Although they sound like the same thing, there are some key differences, and knowing them can make a big impact on how your pedalboard sounds and performs. For those who don't know me, my name is David, and I'm the owner of Blackbird Pedalboards, and for the last 15 years, I've had the pleasure of building thousands of boards for musicians around the world, including some of my musical heroes like Brent Mason, Bon Iver, and Sigur Rós. Now today we're going to go over what the differences are between pedal order and pedal placement, as well as give you some tips to optimize both according to your setup. Let's start with pedal order. This is simply the sequence of pedals in your signal chain, starting from your guitar and ending at your amp. More specifically, this is the order in which your pedals are plugged into each other. Pedal placement, on the other hand, is the physical location of those pedals on your pedal board. For some guitarists, those two are the same, but for many setups, the location of your pedals may need to differ from the order of your pedals, and trying to force the two to be the same can result in an inefficient and difficult to use setup. Let's dive deeper into pedal order. Now, I want to preface by saying there are no rules when it comes to the order in which you run your pedals. Instead, I'm going to give you an outline of common signal chain, just best practices. But since there are an endless number of pedal combinations out there, breaking these rules and finding your own unique tone is always priority number one. First off, I like to start with a tuner. The reason I put this first is I always want the cleanest and most accurate signal without any interference from other effects. Another added bonus is that most tuners have buffers in them, making them a great spot up front in your signal chain. If your tuner is true bypass or you feel your signal could benefit from a dedicated buffer, I would also use this number one spot for it. Next up would be your dynamic pedals. These will be your filters, wahs, and octave pedals. Now these respond dynamically to your playing, so they work best before any gain-based effects. Next, I would put your compressor, as it also responds dynamically to your playing. A compressor is most often used to even out your picking attack, so placing it up front ensures a balanced signal before drive or modulation. Next comes your drive pedals. Whether it's overdrive, fuzzes, or distortions, this is where the core of your tone is shaped and typically sounds best before any modulation or time-based effects. As far as individual orders of drives, this is very much a personal preference, but I tend to like to have my cleanest drives with the most headroom later in my signal chain. Up next is our modulation effects. This will cover your chorus, flanger, phaser, and tremolos. These effects add movement and texture to your sound and tend to work best after your drive stage. Also, if you are planning on using a volume pedal, I would highly recommend putting that here as well. Last, we will have our time-based effects like delay and reverb. These are typically placed at the end of the signal chain to create space and depth without interfering with the other effects. While this order is a great starting point, there are plenty of examples where breaking these rules have led to some inspiring tone. One example is having your compression after your overdrive. Rather than smooth out your dynamics, it can render seamlessly endless sustain a la Carlos Santana. Putting a drive pedal after a cranked reverb is what helped shape the shoegaze era, and I for one have put my octave pedal in pretty much every position on my pedal board. One last thing I want to talk about is pedals with impedance issues. Some vintage pedals like fuzzes or wahs have low input impedance and do not play well with buffers. These pedals prefer to be very first in your signal chain, and if this is the case for your setup, make sure to put those pedals up front. Real quick everyone, if you're finding this video helpful, all of this information and more can be found in my pedalboard guide, the Pedalboard Blueprint. It is full of great tips for setting up a clean and efficient pedalboard, and best part is I'm giving it away for free. So head over to our website, blackbirdpedalboards.com, and get your free copy today. Now let's get back to the video. Now let's shift our focus to pedal placement. As mentioned at the beginning of the video, the placement of your pedals will likely need to vary from the order of your pedals. Although some smaller setups may be able to run everything from right to left, for larger two-row setups, it is important to put some thought on where you want your pedals on your board. Now here are some tips to figure out your pedal placement. First, try to put your most used pedals up front. Remember, if you're performing live, pedal placement isn't about tone, it's about how easily you can activate your effects without missing a beat. Prioritize your most used pedals in the easiest to reach spots on your board, which is right in front of you. Next is consider your treadle pedals. These will be your foot-controlled pedals like a wah or volume. If you're like me and have a preferred foot you like to control them with, make sure those pedals are on the same side. For example, even if your volume pedal is right in the middle of your signal chain, by putting it on the far right side of your board, it'll make it so much easier to control. Last, if you're looking for the ultimate control of your pedal placement, consider a switching system. A looper can let you control all of your pedals from a single row right in front of your board. Some other considerations when it comes to pedal placement is pedal size. Even if you have a pedal that is commonly used, if it's overly tall and makes reaching behind it more difficult, consider it moving to the back of your board. Likewise, adding a riser for shorter pedals can improve playability as well. To summarize, pedal order is the sequence of your pedals to produce the most effective tone. Pedal placement is the location of those pedals where they are easiest to activate during a performance. In the end, knowing how to optimize both will give you a better sounding and performing rig. If you enjoyed this video and you would like more pedalboard tips, please consider subscribing. And if you're in the market for the best looking pedalboards on stage, head over to blackbirdpedalboards.com and grab your new board today.